the current state of leadership within the Republican National Committee. Question 1, you should be able to pop up here on this end, was how do you approve or disapprove of the job that Ronna McDaniel is doing as chair of the Republican National Committee? 1.6% of respondents in America Fest said strongly approve.
No way.
3% said somewhat approve. 13.4% somewhat disapprove, and 65% strongly disapprove. Second question we'll pull up here. Do you think members of the Republican National Committee should listen to you, the grassroots, when considering who to vote for RNC chair? I think we ended up with a very clear, only 1.3% said no. Last question. Who do you support for the upcoming election of chair of the Republican National Committee? I want to preface this. Our good friend Rich Barris from Big Data Polls conducted this. For those of you that follow along on the Charlie Kirk show and have been following along with everything we do there, I said, personally, as a member of the Republican National Committee, I'm one of the votes of the 168 that gets the vote for the RNC chair. Whoever won this poll is who I would endorse from stage. And as we see here, Ronna McDaniel received 1.7% of the vote. Mike Lindell received 31% of the vote. And Harmeet Dhillon won the vote 57%. And I want to leave you with this. So I'm officially, personally endorsing and throwing my support behind Harmeet Dhillon for RNC chair. We love Mike too. I love Mike to death. But Harmeet, as a colleague of mine on the Republican National Committee, can bring the heat that we so sorely need at the Republican level nationally to make sure that we win elections, to make sure that we win lawsuits that we should be building. We should be building the smartest cadre of individuals who can fight back against the marginalized of the world, against the Perkins Coys of the world. This is how we've been losing. A lot of you have asked the question, why do we keep losing in and out on the legal battles and fronts? Well, we just don't have the good enough team here. And we have to fight. We have to fight harder. So it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce to you and bring out who I think will be the next chair of the Republican National Committee, Harmeet Dhillon.
It is a violation of the First Amendment for our government to collude and coordinate for entities to suppress the speech of American citizens. That is not going to work for America. People are suffering, the economy is tanking. This is unacceptable. It is very important that all Americans realize the threat that is posed by big tech companies. I'm a fighter. We are every waking up of the day, and that's what we need right now.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. And thank you, Turning Point Action, for this important development. I am so excited. I was so excited when Charlie and Tyler told me about Turning Point Action because I was once a young Republican and a grassroots organizer in my college days. And I've been willing to put my name out there for decades about what I believe, why I'm passionate about this country, our future, and especially our liberty. Now I look around this room, and I see the future of the conservative movement right in front of me here today. All of you. But before I talk about the future, I think we should appreciate our past and where we've come from. Let's talk about the American legacy and conservatism. In 1776, 56 men signed a divinely inspired piece of paper and created the greatest system of governance this world has ever seen, inspired by God. The mission statement was simple: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whether in the courtroom, the boardroom, or amongst the grassroots of our party, I've worked my entire life to preserve and also expand the freedoms outlined in the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. And those two documents are why I'm a conservative. But it's not enough to be a conservative in your heart. To put that conservatism to work for us and put it to action, we have to have political power. I was attracted to the Republican Party because I saw it was the greatest vehicle to enhance the freedoms that brought my parents to this country. With me and my little brother when I was 2 and he was under 1 year old. But the people in charge of the modern Republican Party, the people entrusted with this tremendous trust, are in the process of driving that important vehicle for change off a cliff. We're in the middle of a culture war in our country, fighting an enemy that is as powerful as it is relentless. But what is the party doing to stop their advance? I'm not satisfied with that leadership, and that's why I stepped up to run for chair of the Republican National Committee. One takeaway that I took away from that poll that Tyler just talked about is, wow, are 1% of the attendees here political consultants? Because they're pretty happy with getting paid millions yearly, whether they win or lose, and I'm not happy with it. Now let's talk about the dangers of the radical left. The radical left bears very little resemblance to the Republican Party and to the Democratic Party of old. Their ideology has far more in common with Karl Marx than JFK. They've captured our institutions. They've tried to redefine what is a woman. They've infiltrated every aspect of our culture, and they're dismantling the nuclear family even as we speak. Believe me, their goal is nothing less than the total destruction of everything that people in this room hold dear. And what is the cost of a failed Republican leadership? We have lost. 6 years ago, when current leadership took office, we had the White House, the Senate, and the House. We had a strong Supreme Court. Today, we have a strong Supreme Court. We barely have the House. We have senators who can't block disastrous judicial nominations. And we have the worst president in my lifetime. Now, whether it's an unwillingness or incapability to lead, the consequences are the same. The Republican Party of today has chosen to be spectators in the political arena, not active combatants. We are not taking the fight to the left. We are sitting back and letting them punch us and weakly responding. That's not acceptable. Now, this is not about personality. I have a lot that I could be doing in my life. This is about me and all the grassroots activists in the country who've been telling me, and all the members of the RNC over the last few days, that they're tired of losing. Failure is unacceptable. So let me tell you about who I'm running against. I'm running against Conservative Inc., okay? I'm running against a swamp of fat cat consultants who take the money of small dollar and billionaire donors, and they get paid whether they win or lose. Now, I run a small business. I'm a partner in a law firm that I founded. We don't get paid whether we win or lose. Do you get paid whether you do a good job or not? Most of us don't. Political consultants do. And they're so married to that sweet, sweet cash that they'll do anything to hold on to leadership that keeps that gravy train going. That's unfortunate. But I am not daunted. I'm not afraid of this challenge. And with all the support from all of the grassroots, I'm ready to take them on. By myself, obviously, so I don't mean to suggest that we're going to be some kind of solo practitioner there. I see a hand, I see some hands in the audience. We need experts. But maybe the expertise we need today is different than what the expertise was in the 1990s when I was growing up in politics, when I was at the Heritage Foundation, when I was a college Republican, when I was a college journalist, when I was in the Federalist Society and the chair of the biggest chapter in the country. The expertise we need today is different. I attended your event last night here at the end of Turning Point USA. The collective social media engagement in that room was mind-blowing. Only a handful of members of the Republican National Committee are active on social media. They couldn't pick any of you influencers out if their life depended on it, okay? That's a problem. We're gonna need this youth energy harnessed in the party. People who know digital communications, people who know how to communicate to the future voters and the past voters. I love my boomer memes, but we also need to communicate with the young people as well.